first I'm going to say Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Um, yeah, today's Valentine's Day here, and I actually celebrated Valentine's Day yesterday because my partner's at work today. It's great. But yeah, it was really nice. We did like wee baskets for each other, and then we went out to dinner at like a buffet in Glasgow. Um, it was really nice, and then passed out when we came home because we were dying. But yeah, I'm at his right now. He left to go to work, so I'm about to go back to my bit, to my house, and see my family. But I don't really know the like the Valentine's Day in general has always been kind of a part of me like gets it, but another part of me doesn't. Like, you should love your partner every day. You should treat them every day. You should love them the same every day. It shouldn't just be like one day a year you get spoiled and that's it, or like you get some flowers in the car and you're like here, and then it never happens again. And that's kind of what happens when you're maybe not in the best relationship, and you know it's just that one day to them, and then suddenly it's like nothing. Because I've been in that situation before where it was like all you get is like treated on Valentine's Day, and that's it. Like that's it. Like I'd randomly get my partner things on like an average Tuesday. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't just make it one day a year or like their birthday or Valentine's Day or whatever it is. Like I put an effort in every day. Sorry if you could hear that horn. That was the ferry because he lives right on the beach. But yeah, it's just like I feel, and especially for people again, like when I was single, Valentine's Day was just again, it's just another day. But also when you get older, like Valentine's Day is another day. Like even if you're married or if you have kids or you know you've been in a really long term relationship, it's like some partners just agree to not do anything. Uh, like I can guarantee in a couple of years, me and my partner will probably, because we haven't even hit our 1 year yet, but in a couple of years, it will probably just be like, here's some flowers, love you, happy Valentine's Day. Like, it doesn't need to be made such a big deal all the time, but I also get people who really want to make it a big deal, or, people who do like Valentine's Day with their friends, like, that sounds really fun. Um, but also just a happy Valentine's to everyone who doesn't have a Valentine, because, again, it's not the be all and end all. Um, being in a relationship or not is nice, but again, it's not. It's such a hurdle to be in a relationship. I think, as in, to find whatever the perfect relationship is, air quotes. um, what is that? Because again, I don't think any relationship is perfect, and or they look perfect on the outside and they're definitely not on the inside, and that you know that's not an easy thing to do, especially whenever you put out like, "Oh, have Valentine's Day, love you," to whoever it is you're like, celebrating it with, and it's not like that at all at home, and it's just that just makes me sad knowing that there's people out there that suffer every day in a relationship, but online or outside it's portrayed as this perfect, amazing relationship, and everyone's all over them about it, but at home it's a totally different story. And having been in a toxic relationship myself, I know exactly what that's like. So it's everybody's always like fawning, like, "Oh my god, you're still together, oh my god, it's been so long, and you are so cute together," and blah blah blah. And it's like, but then behind closed doors it's absolutely awful and not the same as what everyone thinks it is. So you know if you're alone this Valentine's Day, thrive in it. Just be yourself. Go do something that you want to do. Go out, go to the movies, go get your hair done. Whatever it is you want to do, just do it, because, like, this day should be for you as well. if you're single, it should be for you as well, because God knows what you've been through in the past to get to this point, or to be able to sit here and, you know, be happy with the place you are in life. If you're not, that's okay as well. Um, but just take a day to just be, to celebrate yourself, you know, to celebrate the fact that you are single and you're happy, or you're out of that bad relationship, or whatever it is, you know. I just thought I'd just pop in and say that, because I don't know. I'm kind of, again, I'm happy with the relationship I'm in. I'm really happy. Are we perfect? No. Do we have our bad days? Of course. But unlike the past, do I see myself actually wanting to, like, you know, overcome all of the bad days? Absolutely. Do I don't want to give up? No. Like, I don't want to walk away from this relationship. I want to be in it. I want to be present. I want to communicate. I want to fix things. Like, that's, you know, when you're in a bad relationship, that kind of goes away. You don't feel the need to fix things, or you're just like, oh, what's the point? Like, what's the point? And that's like when it's coming to an end, in my opinion. Uh, but for me, it's like I adore my partner, and I genuinely, like, please Lord, let this be the one, because I'm not doing this again. But yeah, like, I genuinely see me with this person for the rest of my life, and I really hope that's true. But I do still know that it is a relationship and things can happen. But obviously, we both try our hardest for, you know, things to go as smoothly as possible. And, like, again, saying that, you shouldn't really need to try in a relationship for things not to go wrong. Like, I've been there before where I'm like, okay, if we can make it another day without fighting, that's great. If we can make it 2 days, we can make it 3 days. Like, that shouldn't be normalized. We shouldn't be counting how many days we can go without having an argument or anything like that with our partner. And I think at that point, whenever I realised that in a relationship, I was like, what am I doing? Like, I'm waiting for it to blow up every day, you know, because that's how it was. And even getting into a healthy relationship after a toxic one is something I'd like, never experienced before, because you're waiting for things to blow up. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're waiting for something to go wrong, and somehow it's all your fault. Which is another thing. It's like, I'll always say sorry, even though it's bluntly not my fault. You know. Um, but I'm also at a point now where I can be mature and also stand up and say if I have done something wrong, and be like, okay, I'm sorry. Like, talk it out, whatever. But being in that kind of situation where you're constantly waiting for something bad to happen or the chaos to start, it's like you thrive in the chaos because that's all you've ever known. And your partner is chaos, and when you meet someone who, like my partner, is genuinely like, it's actually impossible to argue with him because he's so calm about things because he doesn't want to even elevate his voice in front of me. He doesn't want to shout at me or anything like that, which should be the norm. But you know, like, he physically won't raise his voice at me or anything like that. He just can't. So sometimes when I'm like all up in arms and I'm like, you know, it feels like I'm arguing with a puppy. That's what it's like. And I look at him and I'm like, oh my god, what am I doing? But I'd say ours aren't really arguments. It's more just discussions, and sometimes we don't agree on things. Like, most of our relationship, we have like complete opposite opinions on things, and that to some people is quite weird because, you know, a lot of people think, oh, you have to have so much in common, and actually, I think that'd be quite boring if you had everything in common, because most of our things, like hobbies, interests, views on things, are very, very different. Um, because he really wants to do an episode on here on politics, and I am not okay with it because he has a very different opinion than me, and that's normally where most if not all, have our disagreements like stemmed from. Literally, like within our 10 months relationship so far, that's at least 80% of the discussions that we have that turn into disagreements, and it's just not an avenue I want to go down online. But you never know. Maybe we can have a decent discussion about it. But yeah, so like our movie interests, hobbies, things that we like, are very different, and but that's okay because I'll take interest in what he likes, and he'll take interest in what I like. So we won't just dismiss it. I'll sit and listen to him talk about what he likes, and he'll do the same for me. Um, or if it comes to movies, like he'll watch my stuff, I'll watch his stuff. Like we're very open about that, and not just like one sided. Like this is what we have to do. This is what you have to agree with. No, that's not necessarily fair in my opinion. So we're open enough to be like we're both gonna have different views and opinions on things and different interests and hobbies, but we'll make time for each other's interests, because I feel like that's what you should do when you love someone. Like, I want to know all about him and what he loves, and it makes me happy when he talks about things that he likes. And I know he does the same for me because sometimes he'll just look at me if I'm in my element and he's like, it's just nice to see you, like, being happy and talking about something that makes you happy. And that's what it should be like. Your partner should admire the fact that you have your own circle. Like for instance, I'm at college and he loves hearing about my day when I'm at college, even though right now it's absolute chaos and uh, just the course in general. Like I've made some really nice friends at college and they make it a lot easier for me to go in, but the course in general is hard. Counselling and mental health, it's difficult, it's dark sometimes, it's emotional, and there's just so much work involved, and that's to be expected, but did not expect it. But he will always ask about my day and like in depth of what we did and what I did, and I can always go to him as well if I need help because he is actually a really smart person. Like he's really smart, and he never thinks he is, but he is, and it's just yeah. So it's like your partner should want to know that stuff about you, should want to know how your day's been, you know, and then you reciprocate that with how your day's been, and so on and so forth. And I think these are things I'm learning as I get older and mature into a relationship. And my first relationship didn't have any of these things, so now I'm like learning all these things at the age of like 24. but, but yeah, it's just, being in a relationship is great if it's the one for you. If it's not, it can be one of the worst times of your life, genuinely. And, it's getting to the point where you can establish, like, is this a good person for me? Am I, like, am I on the road that I'm supposed to be on? Because when you're in a relationship, at least for me, I lost myself completely. I didn't know who I was. I was hanging around with the wrong people. Like, I just felt really lost until I came out of the relationship, and I was like, oh my god, like, I got to go back to doing things that I liked and doing, like, going outside and just, like, being me again and, like, reconnecting with people and even my family because I feel like I'd lost touch with them quite a lot, and I just completely immersed myself in this person, and then you lose everything in the end and you're left with nothing. So, as long as you can hold on to yourself in a relationship and don't let that go for anyone, then that's the number one thing in my opinion. Being able to be yourself, have your own group, have your own friends, your own like money. Like obviously this depends on how long you've been with someone and if you're married or not or whatever and what you choose to do. Me, I'll always have my own money. We've always me and my partner have discussed that already. And the fact that you know I'll always have my own bank account, my own money, like my own wages. Like I'll always have that, and he'll have his, sorry, and but we'll both chip in for things, So, but he'll still have the money that he earned and he worked for, and I'll still have mine. And again, that could change in the future, depending on what happens. But we both know that that's important to each of us. And like, I'll always have my own group of friends. He'll have his, he's met some of my friends before and they've got on, and he's really good with like new people. And I've met quite a lot of his friends. Well, some of his friends. And they're really good people as well. I met his family, he's met mine, and everything's good finally. And I think that having your own life as well as a life with your partner is important. Not completely giving up your life or they're giving up their life to be with you. I think that's gets to a point where it's like you shouldn't have to give up anything to be with someone. You shouldn't have to give up people, your lifestyle, your hobbies, interests, whatever it may be. Like, nobody should be asking you to give that up for them. And if they are, get out. Get out. Because that's not okay. Or if you feel like you have to give it up, they are maybe not asking you to, but you feel like you have to make them happy or whatever it is, just don't. Because that's, again, it's not fair, it's not natural, and therefore that person's your only life source. It's like you have to be with them, you have to talk to them, like they are your happiness, and that's something that I've struggled with in the past, is like being able to be happy without them and with them. Like if my partner left me today, would I still be happy with the life I had without him? Obviously, it would really, really suck and just be absolutely awful. But I'd still have my college, I still have my friends, like my life, my hobbies, interests. So yeah, I would, but that's not gonna happen. But you need to be able to say, if I walk away from this, do I still have the parts of me that I came into this relationship with? And if the answer's no, then I guess you have to do some, kind of reflecting and really have a chat with yourself about if this is what you want and if this is the person that you want to be with. Even if you can talk to your partner, you know what I mean, if they're open to that. But again, if you've got to the point where you're giving up things for them to make them happy, then maybe they're not willing to discuss that. Because most of them will say, well, I didn't ask you to give up anything, I didn't tell you to do that. That's what they call a narcissist, babe. But yeah, so I could really talk about relationships all day, and like bad ones, good ones, like all that kind of stuff. But I'm not going to. um, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and just, you know, talk to you guys and just, even if you're alone this Valentine's Day and you want to listen to this podcast, that'd be great. Thank you so much for joining and being a part of this journey with me. Again, I'm still getting used to all this. I don't even like today. I'm like, what am I going to talk about? What can I talk about? And I thought it's Valentine's Day, do something along relationships and stuff, but it's just very up and down this podcast. I feel like I really want to talk about movies. I really want to do like a movie thing, like review some movies. I'm not a movie reviewer whatsoever. I don't have any like qualifications in that. So anything I do, please don't be angry with me. But I do have a lot of interest in movies. My favourite genre is horror. Just to put that out there, so if that's not what you're interested in, that's okay. But that's where my avenue is probably going to go down. And I'd really love to do some like reviews on my favourite movies and stuff. So yeah, that might be what comes up next. I don't know. This podcast is really just a gamble on life. Like I said, life. Am I right? Uh, but yeah, so I hope you guys have a really good day. Whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or not, I just hope you're okay and that you're happy. So that will be it for today's episode. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.